They that trust in the I am shall be as Mount Zion, which cannot be removed, but abideth forever. As the mountains are round about Jerusalem, so the I am is round about his people from henceforth even forever. For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth their hands unto iniquity. Do good, O I am, unto those that be good, and to them that are upright in their hearts. As for such as turn aside unto their crooked ways, the I am shall lead them forth with the workers of iniquity, but peace shall be upon Jacob. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits, who have sway over the thoughts of the hearts of men, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou in my seed forever, that we go not astray henceforth and forevermore. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Those of you on this platform and those shared platforms, we thank God for you. And with a hand clap of praise to the Most High, we thank God for you that have been with us since the beginning. And we thank God for those of you that have been with us since hereafter and thereabout. And we thank God for those of you who have subscribed or followed. Just subscribe to follow. We thank God for you, and we thank God for those of you that are about to subscribe or follow, giving praises unto the Most High, calling those things that are not as though they are. Yes, all praises to him who have created all things. Yes, he has created all things. If you believe that. See, we don't go by faith, we go by confidence. We go by confidence in the Most High, that he can do according to as he says, that his abilities are what he says and what it is described in historical accounts of what the dealings of the Most High with men. Yes, this is the confidence that we have in the Most High. For that word faith is, you can use it, but I know what you mean. But the fact is, confidence is best suited to describing our, well, should I say confidence, our knowing his ability, we have no doubt in his abilities. We have no doubt in that he says what he says. It's just the fact of interpretation as far as the Bible and everything is concerned. Yes, and if you notice in the book, in Psalms chapter 25, it also says Jerusalem. Now, you look at the Jerusalem today. I want you to go on your map. And they say that's Jebus, okay? But note what the psalmist said. Now, this psalmist was right there in Jerusalem. He knew what was going on. But the fact is that he said Jerusalem was surrounded by mountains. Surrounded by mountains. Now, I want you to go to see Jerusalem. It's founded on a mountain. This Jerusalem is on a mountain. This is not really what he describes. This is not the only point. We're going to point out another one, and then we're going to go back to this one later on in time. We're going to go back to this one. It's found in Kings. The brother that, when I searched and found his website, or should I say his YouTube channel, he pointed out how Jerusalem was, but he used Kings. And he used how David described how Jerusalem is surrounded by mountains. Now, you go to Telerad. Go on your Google Maps or your Google Earth and look at Telerad and blow it up. Now I want you to take and look at Telerad and look around it. See, this is what I'm talking about. When you can put your hands on it, when you can identify it according to the identity they give it. See, those 1948 fakes, they gonna do and say anything they can to make themselves look like what they ain't. Okay? Now, you're gonna see it's surrounded by mountains in the distance. You're going to see Telerad there. You're going to go a little southwest. And you're going to see Arad. All these things are mentioned in the book of Jubilees, the book of Jasher, the book of, should I say, they're not in the book of Enoch, book of Jubilees and book of Jasher. This Arad, King Arad, he was the king of in Canaan. And they had to name this place after him. Arad. He was a Canaanite king. He was a black man, a black king. They're going to always try to steal. They're going to always try to take your identity. They're going to always try to do these things. Even Hamites. I mean, how can you take what is known and what is undisputed, a black person, and make him white? How you going to do that? Come on, you tell me. You come in, you put in the comments. You tell me, how are you going to take a black Canaanitish king and make him white when it's undisputed that he's black? Regardless of how you got Russell Crowe situated and all that stuff, all that came out of the book of Jubilees. Oh, we done found you out now. Your time is up. When God started exposing, when God started showing things, your time is up. Your rule is up. When he showed up Babylon, his rule was up. When he showed up Persia, their rule was up. When he showed up Grecia, their rule was up. When he showed up Rome, their rule was up. They fled. They went to Europe. Europe wasn't white. Europe was black. They went to Europe and it started turning white. Yeah, there was some whites there. Very few. But it got even more and more by the time in Spain and all those, they went to different parts. Yes, they did. Your time is up. Now, this time is going to shift. The time is shifting to another world power. Not one, but it's going to be many. That's why I say we're at the feet. This power is going to become corrupt, very corrupt. I'm calling those things as I see them and according to prophecy. What you thought was back in then is now. This feet of this idol that Daniel saw. This is going to become corrupt eventually. That's why even the African continents should always be on their toes in dealing with these other nations, whether they're from the east, west, south, north, whatever. Be on your toes. Because also this part we call Palestine and Canaan. This was Africa. This was part of Africa, North Africa. It was part of Africa. They went so far as to build a canal to separate the two. Give me a break. You think you're fooling God? God is showing his people just what it is. It's up to you to stop being so naive and still thinking and believing on the things that these people show when God is showing you exactly who you are. And that brother that decided he wants to get out of whatever he was doing, to me, he's just confused to a certain extent. He's taken the word of, you have to look at the doings. Look at the times. Look at the word. Study it. Know it. Compare. There's nothing wrong with the 66 books as well as the other ones that they cast out. There's nothing wrong with them in the sense that if you take them and compare them, you will see the truth. But the fact is, the lie is when they speak into your ears and they're speaking lies in your ears and you take them face value without paying attention to what they're saying and going back and studying to prove what they say. Even what I say. I even give you the tools to prove it. There you go. You got the tools there. Go to Google Earth. Tell her that. It's Jeebus. They even got it. Even the imposter Arabs. They put it down. This is Jeebus. This is the Israelite kingdom. This was Jerusalem. Bethlehem is not too far from Jerusalem. But where there are is nothing. There was already houses there. There were already built up cities all over the place because what Israel was there. Why was black folks there before 1948 in that film that popped up mysteriously out of nowhere? Why was it? Israel was there. Know who you are. See, those things are indisputable. Black folks was there running. Then you had Arabs running around. They were constantly taking over, until we got to the point where we are today. Or should I say those who say they are Arabs. Like I say, for more information, go to the history of the ancient Hebrews and Arabs by Gert Mueller and Anu Bantu. And they got volume 1 and volume 2, which deals with forensics. You might not want to get into the forensics, but you can get to the historical parts. But I found the forensics very intriguing and interesting. And to the point and true, because I never seen another forensic scientist challenge it. Nobody challenged that. And this was a black man. I don't know who Gert Mueller was, but I know Anubantu had to be black. Period. But anyway, Bantu. That's why I say he's black. Okay? You got me? All right. Now, we're in Oshea. See, I'm the kind of guy, I listen to what, I'm looking at what I'm seeing. I'm looking at what's going on. I'm looking at the actions versus the word. I'm looking, even in the word, I'm looking at their actions versus what they say. In other words, just like when he said badger skin, and you got these white theologians saying it could have been dolphins. Some of them say it could have been honey badgers and stuff. It's just a lie. It goes against what God has said in his word. He says he called unclean animals unclean, and he called clean animals clean. Now, how he's going to take an unclean animal upon his holy temple and have it as a roof over his holy temple? There's no way. I mean, anything else can suffice. And then we go further. If John, they so-called the Baptist, was all that and he adhered to the law, commandments, and statutes of the Most High, he would have never been out in the wilderness in camel's hair. I haven't read the New Testament in a while, so I think that's camel's hair. I believe he said camel's hair. Unclean animal. Dead carcass. It's not so much that the animal was unclean while it was alive, because the blood was flowing through it, but it was dead. He was to be buried. Lion skin, dead, unclean animals. Ostrich feathers, dead, unclean animals. All these things dead and unclean. And yet we go feathers up, unclean. And you call yourself Israelitish Indians. Eagles, unclean before the Most High. See that you build the temple after the manner which I instructed you, is what he said. Get it right. You don't need no feathers to please God. That's paganism. See, this is why you brought the colonizer into your lands from South America, North America, Australia, Africa, even where it all started in Israel. You brought them by your sin. God will take these low-down, dirty folks and put them over you. People you deemed as nothing when you saw them. They were nasty. They were dirty. They were always smiling according to historical accounts. For more information, I was listening to it on Audible. This man gave an account of the Romans and the Greeks and the Roman society, how they began and all this other stuff. And he talked about how they dealt, how they were. And he was not of any brown skin, if you must know. Well, we're in Oshea chapter 20. Chapter 20. And it reads in verse 1, it says, the I am spake unto Oshea, saying, or Joshua. Remember, when I say Oshea, I mean what you understand is Oshea. Moses had a speech impediment. I would always say that. His father named him Oshea, but Moses called him, can you say Oshea, Oshea, Oshea? Slow of speech, Oshea, Oshea, Oshua. Because they didn't speak in English. Oshea, that's probably what it was, Oshea. Oshea. And they say Oshua. This is where the English comes. They wasn't back then in that time. It says, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, appoint out you for the cities of refuge, whereof I spake unto you by the hand of Moses, that the slayer that killeth any person unawares unwillingly may flee thither. Now, he's not talking about in the United States where they try to take the things of God and pervert them, and just they take them from a South American country and say, come on over, and then if you get through the gate, then you can go to these cities we say are what? Cities of refuge. Cities of refuge from what? From the law. They never gave a black man refuge from a law. That's the law of doing it right. From coming in the country, applying like everybody else, and then becoming a citizen. And then they're always changing the laws. Always changing the laws. It's the law. I don't mind people coming over if you do the right way. That way everything can be accounted for. They can work. They can do everything. If they're criminals, they'll accept people with a certain criminal record. But when it gets too far, no, you stay where you at, brother. Because we can't trust you for nothing. But the fact is, come on over, regardless of what it is. I don't mind your children, baby, but you have to come in the right way. And you call yourself righteous, the moral majority. You's a liar. And then you slay people in the street and your people cast out of their own homes and houses because the renters, the one who owns the apartment, they jack up the price in all hopes that they would get these immigrants in, or those you have let come over the border, that they might get a higher price. So if they kick them out and let them in and then negotiate with the government to get a higher price than what they were getting with you. I'm calling it like I see it. So the fact is that evil knows evil. As they said in that movie with Will Smith. Or should I say not Will Smith, but it was Lost in Space. the brother said, evil knows evil. And this is true. There's no honor among thieves. No. Hallelujah. But anyway, this slayer, God is talking about a slayer that killed any person unawares or unwillingly. He may flee, that may be for your refuge from the avenger. In other words, once somebody lays their hand or points you out, other than one person, not just one woman hollering because of the color of her skin, oh, he did this, and lying through your teeth, and you accept it without any investigation whatsoever. He said, now, this person was killed, and they said, you did it because you told them, hey, the tree is falling, but this person was so crazy, they sat there right, in other words, you said, get back, man, we don't know which way this tree gonna fall, get back, I want you to get back behind me. But they're gonna say, no, it ain't going nowhere. But the fact is, what happened? They got killed. So his family come up, you killed it, you did this, you did that. It wasn't your fault. You told the crazy person to get back behind you. Because it would have hit you before it hit them, and they would have got out the way. Just using a scenario. And this person is one of his family members or whoever they appointed to be the marshal, to come get this guy and to delete him. And they shall be your refuge from avenger of blood. And when he that doth flee unto one of those cities shall stand at the entering of the gate of the city, and shall declare his cause in the ears of the elders of that city, they shall take him into the city unto them and give him a place that he may dwell among them. This is the law. This is the way. Okay, he did nothing wrong. It was just a person that really didn't take heed to what the instructions they were given, or was in the wrong place at the wrong time and knew the dangers thereof. Now, and if the avenger of blood, in other words, the one who's going to get, should I say, what they call it, avenging, or the avenger of blood. They want to get vengeance. Could be a family member, like I said. It could have been somebody hired or whatever. Pursue after him. They shall not deliver the slayer up into his hand, because he's going to slay them. See, this is why Israel didn't really have to, at the ancient Israel, they really didn't have to have jails or prisons. Prisons are really for money-making schemes, that's all. The money should go to who? If anything, if that person is sold into servitude to pay back restitution for medical bills, for items stolen, even twofold, until they're paid off. That's one thing. But they set it up to where you're working for corporations. You're not working to pay off your debts toward those you have wronged. No, you're not doing it. They're stealing money. That's theft. That's a form of theft. And these are the laws which all the nations of the world shall be judged, regardless of whether you call yourself Israelite or not. You will be judged after these things because you know better in your heart. Ain't no right, no word in your heart. You already know what's wrong and right. Either way, you just deny it, you put it aside, and you call it that it is for your own greed and your own bigotry and your own pride. All that into one. It's called the imprisoned industrial complex is what it's called. Now, if the avenger of blood pursue after him, they shall not deliver into the hands of this slayer, because he smote his neighbor unwillingly and hated him not. In other words, malice. See, God, he clarifies why he says thou shalt not kill. Malice. In other words, you did it because of the color of his skin. You did it because she was fat, she was big, she was a woman, she was a child. Innocence. And because you could. You knew you would get away with it. Okay. Verse 6. And he shall dwell in that city until he stand before the congregation for judgment, until the death. In other words, the congregation, they're going to judge, okay? We know that this man said he was innocent and that some people say he was innocent, but we still have to investigate this thing to make sure, and some things are guilty. You got some of these, should I say, enforcers that break into a house without the right, should I say, credentials, without the right authorizations from a judge. Go around unalive, one person sleeping in the bed, and then the poor man comes in there and it's the middle of the night and he just shooting, and then they're going to give. See, you notice how the biased people, they take and they try to find the savagery and they try to find some type of lawlessness of the person that is not unlawful, but the unlawful is the ones that came in and done the dirt. This is evil before the Most High, and it shall be recompensed. Your evil for the evil that you have done. Every one of you, if you're black, white, I don't care who you are, evil shall be recompensed for evil, because you were not fair. You should have gotten a warrant instead of trying to muster up one some kind of way to get yourself off. That's a life you took. In every situation, you took a life, little boy's life, because of the color of his skin. He shouldn't have a gun. He shouldn't have even a toy gun. He shouldn't even know how to play a gun. But let's get it. I got to get rid of him. Hold on. Let's play this theatrical real good. I got my game playing on. Stop resisting. Oh, you going to do all that stuff, huh? Okay. Evil for evil, God is going to recompense. When you die, you're going to understand. It may not be when you die. This evil might come upon you before then. If people get fed up enough, it's going to come to the point where you brought that on your own people. I'll put that away. And you're not going to win. If God sit up there and sees to the point where he will jellify your heart and cause you to be just unawares and things just come on you and you wonder, why are we being deleted so quickly and we can't see what's going on with all the weaponry we got? Evil for evil. He did it before, he can do it again. He can do it. He's raising up a people at this moment while we speak that will render that evil to you. Oh, now you're going to really go after your bias because you're scared. Yes. Oh, be scared. Be afraid. Very afraid, because it's going to happen. Now, and they appointed Kadesh Galilee in Mount Naphtali, and Shechem in the Mount Ephraim, and Kajath-haba, which is in Hebron, and in Mount Judah, the mountain of Judah. Now, you have to realize it means mount. It's just a hill. Jerusalem was on a hill. It wasn't on a mountain. Okay? It wasn't situated in the mountains. The It was surrounded by mountains, yes. Yes, and that's where you might find in the book of, in the Apocrypha. I forgot her name now. But anyway, they were hid up in a mountain from the Philistines. Now, which is Hebron in the mountain of Judah. Now, on the other side of Jordan by Jericho, eastward, they assigned Bezer in the wilderness upon the plain out of the tribe of Reuben. and Ramoth Gilead out of the tribe of Gad, and Golan and Bashan, and out of the tribe of Manasseh. And these were the cities appointed for all the children of Israel for the stranger that sojourned. Now see, the same laws for the stranger. I mean, if these are a bunch of black folks and you're a white person, and then you sit up there and you took all these, you somehow killed a black person by mistake, you can run to these countries. Because there was one law God said. See, God is not like you, man. He's not like you at all. He's not like you, judge, sheriff, police officer. He's not like you. He doesn't have the same ideology as you do. In other words, a certain hue is savage and a certain hue is not, regardless of what age they are. I don't care for the life of this hue. I don't care whether they're a little newborn baby to the point of a grown 99-year-old man. He doesn't have the same mindset as you. You're evil. There is no mercy for you. Even at your heart set now, whether you've done it or not, your heart is ready to do it. And even you that call yourself one of these that are black, trying to please your massa, do what's right. If you got to do the thing that, if you enforce, if you judge, if you got to make laws, you got to do the right thing. Be fair. Now, but evil people would never be fair. I don't care how you look at it. But either way, these are the cities appointed for the children of Israel, for the stranger that sojourneth among them, and whosoever killeth any person at unawares might flee thither, and die not by the hand of the avenger of blood, but he stood before the congregation. In other words, he was judged righteously, that he did not do it, and what he was saying was right. And these people testified of that. They did not put their hands upon his head and say, this is the one that had done this, but he was the one that God have spared in all of this. And when we do those things which are fair according to the law, commandments, statutes, and ordinances of the Most High, we will have success and we will have peace.